Hey guys, this is Jay. The only crafty dude here, probably, although I don't think that's been confirmed for this year. But it is Project 17, which is my kit, and I thought I would walk you through what's in it, how it goes together. And I'll cover all the basics first, and then I'll do a full put together. So if you're just here to say, do I have the right pieces, we can figure that out. So in the box, you will have an example card. It looks like this. It has a cute cat. He is very excited about birthdays. Um, and there are a couple pieces here. So you're going to have a big white piece that you can write on if you so choose. For my card, I didn't actually put any sentiment here, but feel free to put whatever you'd like. In the box, there will be Celebrate will be mounted on a stamp positioner for you with the cat, but Potty will also be there, which sounds like another word that it isn't. Anyway, in addition to that, you get two base pieces. You can switch over to the kit here. This is a white piece. You get two base pieces in navy. One looks almost like a miscut card base, but should have not this score screw up, but it should have basically four panels or three panels in a glue tab, depending on how you want to think about it. And then your second piece should have two panels in a glue tab, except it looks like I scored this one incorrectly. One moment. 3 1/4 and 4. Yep. Whoa. Ah. And indeed I did. So these are the glue tabs are 1/2 inches, and then this is 3 1/4 by 4. So I'm just going to burnish my folds that are supposed to be here. Your cards will actually be folded correctly, but I had an extra, well, I had a piece I misscored, which is its main base, and then the other piece I just made. So anyway, basically you have all the equipment you need to make a box once you burnish these score lines. They are all mountains essentially for both pieces, and then this piece will come in like that. So that's basically how the card goes together. But let's now just do it from scratch. You can use wet glue or dry glue depending on your preferences. I tend to use dry adhesive for these kind of cards just because then when I fold it down, I know that I folded it down correctly. So I'm just going to put the adhesive on the back of the white piece, and then I'm going to put that on the back of the card, which is basically whichever side doesn't have the scored piece on it. And this is just a standard A2, so this fits in a normal envelope and all that kind of good stuff. Um, there we go. If you wanted to stamp on this, I'd probably stamp on it first, but since I'm not doing that, we will go from there. And then the next thing I usually do is this back piece because it goes the whole length of the other side of that side of the piece of the card. You have some options here. By default, the example uses this sort of rosettes birthday look. You can turn it over though if you want to make this more of a blue and yellow card, kind of like the card we did last year. Then you can either use the balloons as balloons or you can use the orange. So you could make this like a very yellow, orange, blue kind of card if you so desired, which makes it not particularly birthday. So, like, if you wanted to say, I don't know, rather than color this piece, if you wanted to use different imagery, or you could just cut down a cut apart, which is what I did here. So, like, if we did this yellow, orange, and blue, and then did this, boom, we have an Easter card. So, anyway, there are a lot of options depending on what your personal preferences are. I always like to do these kits where if like the theme I picked is something that somebody absolutely hates, you have options to just make it your own. And I would encourage you to do that. Like if there's anything on this that you're like, hey, I don't really like that, just do whatever makes you happy because that is going to make the mingle way more fun. I am very much looking forward to my second year. So, anyway, we have this piece down. And then comes what I think is sort of the counterintuitive piece, which is you have to stick this box together. But it's easier if you go to sort of your third score line. So, the score line that doesn't have the glue on it. And then we just want to figure out how this is sort of how this would fold flat, right? Once the box is together. But what I find easiest is to put adhesive down when this is in the closed position, except I kind of overdid it there. But if you get a little too much adhesive, once it's together, you can just sort of rub it off with your finger or glue eraser. Anyway, then I hold the whole thing closed, and then the dry adhesive will catch. And if you have any extra, you can rub it off. But basically, that way you can ensure your card will always fold flat. We've kind of reached a second decision point, which is in the example card, I put down my pattern paper first and then put down this focal piece. You do have the option to do it the other way if you want to have a smaller focal image. The other thing this is good for too is if you just want to mat this and then you put a sentiment here, that works pretty cool. But I'm going to continue the way the example card is built. But I just wanted to throw in a few quick notes that there are options if you would like there to be options. And I find it easier to just fold this flat and then put this on. This is 1 3/4 by 4, so you will have a pretty nice border on all sides. I think I may have miscut this slightly, but you get the idea. This is the way it's supposed to look, but you have a pretty decent 1/4 inch border all around it. Anyway, moving on. The next thing I do is I really like to get this focal piece added to the card in sort of the closed position, just like what we did. Because if this extends too far, the card won't fit in an envelope, and that's kind of annoying. So I just generally like mat this, like butt this up against the top and then close it. And then we know that this will fit in an envelope. And then you can just fold it backwards and put a little glue here. It doesn't really this since it's going to be glued to this piece. It doesn't matter quite as much. But then you repeat the same thing. You just close it, and there we go. And then the last step is just to put on your focal piece. Um, I guess I didn't mention this video. I always start by doing my stamping and coloring, and then you can just sort of allow your image to dry and decide if you want to retouch it while you're putting the rest of the card together. Also, I know a lot of minglers will basically like make the card to this point and maybe do stamping, but then they'll just bring this home and finish it at home when they have more free time and more access to all their supplies. So that's always an option too. Anyway, here you go. They're the two options. This one is Party. This one is Celebrate. You have a bunch of options to, with sort of our rainbow color palette that we have going on here. You have a lot of options of colors you can bring into the cats. I went with sort of lifelike cat colors, but obviously you can do whatever makes you happy. So, I actually like the one with a word on the banner, but it's up to you guys. Anyway, thanks for checking it out. If you are watching the video at the Mingle, if not, hopefully my instruction sheet has aided you with doing that. Talk to you guys later, and I hope everybody has a great mingle.